Hey guys, hope everyone's doing really well today or tonight. I want to make a quick video on exactly how you can become more interesting. Now, I don't personally think like I'm super interesting, but I used to be super. I guess I don't know. There wasn't too much going on, right? And over the last couple of years, I've really kind of tried to amp that up to just saying yes to more things and doing more interesting things. For example, going to travel solo across lots of different continents. Um, just picking up new opportunities when they pop up. For example, running a marathon, getting a new job, all these little things that investing in real estate. A lot of these little things that people go, oh wow, that's really interesting. That's really cool. You were able to do that. So yeah, I just wanted to make a quick video on how you can also become, I guess, more interesting and just the reasons behind why we generally vibe with more interesting people, the psychology behind that. So let's get into it. Now, first and foremost, there's no doubt that we all want to live an interesting life, right? Now, the reason why is because an interesting life is one with purpose, and it's usually aligned super well with someone's values and their goals in life. Now, for example, you have people who are running marathons, you have people who are releasing books, you might have people who are, painting different things. Maybe they're, a chess master, maybe they're really great at singing, for example. Um, Whatever it is, there's, people who are really great at something. It's something that they really find purpose in and meaning in doing. They're fulfilled doing it because it aligns with their values and goals in life, right? Now, to me, that's someone who's been able to develop all that is someone who is very interesting to me. It seems like they're driven, and they're able to do something that most people can't do. Now, that's a couple extremes in how someone's life can be interesting, but it doesn't really have to go that far. It could be something a lot simpler, which we'll get into later on. But yeah, I mean, look, humans, we all crave connection and gravitate towards people with interesting stories and lives. Um, it's because we go, wow, that's really interesting that you've been able to do that, and they almost kind of envision, themselves to want to do that as well. Not only is being able to tell interesting stories really engaging, but just having I guess a great quote unquote life, that is also something that really piques interest from most people because they're thinking, oh, why can't I do that? Or how can I do that myself? And I mentioned this in one of the videos I did earlier today, but we all crave connection. Even introverts do it from time to time. But we are humans are social creatures, and we want to connect with those who are interesting. Potentially, they've progressed a little bit further in life, and we want to figure out how to do that as well. Or just generally, they're interesting. They're cool to be around. People, generally speaking, people are also very curious, and like I mentioned, they aspire to chase those passions and activities that they want to do. But sometimes people, they might have an excuse for why they can't do something, or there's no time for it, or it's a little bit too risky. But whatever the reason is, people, obviously everyone has aspirations that they want to do in life or that they dream of doing, but they might not always be able to do that. And when they meet someone or they hear of someone that has done exactly that, that piques their interest because again, they want to be living that life or they want to know how to approach, getting to that level in life. And look as well, the reality is most people, including myself for the most part, live pretty boring lives. And boring doesn't necessarily mean a bad life. Boring just means it's kind of it's very routine driven. It's very it doesn't go too far in one direction. It's very streamlined and very predictable. And yeah, for the most part, people are afraid to step out of their comfort zone and learn new things. Now, getting out of your comfort zone occasionally is always a good idea. Recording YouTube videos as well right now is me getting out of my comfort zone. I much prefer to be I guess doing something that isn't as new to me or something that I'm a little bit more familiar with, but this is really good learning for me, and it's really good to be able to stretch myself to do something new. Now, Obviously, being comfortable is crucial to also having a good life, but too comfortable is never a good thing, and it generally means that you're not going to grow or achieve any of the things you want, learn anything new, or you're not going to be willing to risk something to chase your passions, and you're just going to be stuck doing the same thing. Now, how can you live an interesting life? So, a few things that I would do personally, or I have done personally as well, is identify those things in your life, or activities that you're interested in and that you want to pursue. Any way that you kind of even remotely curious in. It could be something you see online. It could be through talking to a friend about their job, and wow, they're doing some really cool things. It could be someone in your personal life. Attempting a marathon or doing an Ironman, or they've picked up painting. Anything that sounds even remotely curious, look into that. Follow where those follow where those passions are kind of being generated, and um, you know after looking at it, you might look into it and you might say this isn't really actually that interesting, and that's fine. But you also might look into something and then really find your next big goal or aspiration in life. Now, I think just generally speaking, and I've done this personally as well, but being able to put systems and goals in place in your life, in your, for the most part, boring life, which isn't a bad thing, but for the most part, boring, to experiment with new things, right? Now, for example, that might be just saying yes to new things that pop up, new opportunities. If someone says that they're going to run a marathon and would you like to come with them? Yes. It might not be something that I would have wanted to do, but through being able to train and run and get your nutrition locked in, and purchase some new running shoes, this is all very cool and exciting, and you might actually really enjoy running, like exactly what happened to me after doing a marathon. Another good option that I actually do myself is, for the at the start of the year, I'll book a ticket somewhere to overseas, whether it's Southeast Asia, maybe America, maybe Europe, wherever it is. I'll book a ticket, and then I'll go there solo, and I'll travel, I'll explore, I'll try different things there, and just see if I like it or not. Now, is that a little bit risky? Maybe, but it's really eye opening, and you actually really you find out a lot about yourself in terms of what you enjoy, what you don't enjoy, the people you like to connect with, and you just find out more about yourself, which is really cool. I think as well, another really good way to live an interesting life is to document your progress and learn to storytell. Now, documenting your progress just means it could be taking a photo, it could be writing some notes down, it could be recording YouTube videos like this as well. But being able to really house memory of what you've been able to achieve in life is I find really interesting, and being able to share that with other people as well. Now, storytelling is another really good way to live an interesting life. So, telling stories has been done since day dot, and what makes a story really interesting is obviously how it's being told, what the story is, and the person telling it as well. What they've been able to learn and how they've kind of approached things in their life is all very interesting to other people, especially those that aspire to be like you. So, I think storytelling isn't important just so you can be listened to all the time, but it really just to inspire others and to connect with others on a deeper level is really key to living an interesting life, I believe. Now, the final bit here is to surround yourself with people that are also stepping outside their comfort zones and trying new things. Now, again, most people are living fairly boring lives, which is fine. But if you want to kind of step out and do something a little bit extra, especially when you consider the fact that you only have one go at life, you know, being able to connect with those that actually are also stepping out of their comfort zones themselves, really stretching their limits, their personal limits, will be key as well to doing so yourself. Just because I'm sure you've heard of the quote, you're the average of the five people around you, and if you're able to associate yourself with other people that also try new things, they tell stories about the things that they've been able to achieve or learn, and they're also stepping outside of their comfort zones, then you'll be able to do the same as well. Now, a couple supporting tools, or I guess tips as well, to live a more interesting life would be to adopt and develop a growth mindset, and just be willing to try new things and fail. Now, in my personal opinion, you should have this regardless, because the most successful people in life are those that are willing to grow and learn and be willing to fall flat on their face and just get up and keep going. These are the people that, eventually they're going to hit it. And it might not be the first, second, third time. It might not be the 100th time, but whatever they're wanting to achieve in life, they're going to hit it, because they're willing to fail and they're going to keep going and going and going until they hit it. So this is what you call a growth mindset. You're willing to grow, you're willing to learn. You're very able to just take things and just do the best with them. This is really important to, I guess, learn and develop this mindset, and it will help you across all areas of your life, not just in being a more interesting person. Now, another really cool tool is that, if you can experiment and pursue things that, specifically will improve the quality of your life. For example, relationships, anything to do with health, and I mean positive relationships, anything to do with health like fitness or eating right. These are things that you can't really go wrong in. If you were to experience, or I guess learn about things that weren't that great, probably not the best thing ever. But for example, solo travel was a really great experiment for me, that I learned a lot about myself with, and what I liked, what I didn't like. Also, health. The marathon taught me a lot about how unfit I was at the time, and now a couple of years later, I've been able to lose a significant amount of weight, and my endurance has gone through the roof in comparison to what it was before, and I'm also eating better as well. I just feel better. Another really good tool that you should look into is life design. So this is something that I spoke about in the previous video, but it's essentially designing your life very intentionally, in a way that you have the best opportunities, you have the best people around you, you have the best morning routines, you're living in the best place. And why you do this is to shape the opportunities in your life to present themselves, right? Or to place yourself in a spot that you can easily achieve whatever you're looking to achieve in your life, or what you're wanting to achieve. So again, this will make you a more interesting person, because there's more opportunities that you're able to pursue, or you've been open to pursuing, and you've taken those on, you've learned things, you've done really cool things, and you're going to have some great stories to tell because of it. And when you compare this to someone who doesn't design their life and they just do the same thing every day, and they kind of hate their life, it's a 9-day difference. And look, the final thing here that I'll leave you guys with is that you should always continue to chase things that are meaningful and that excite you. And I've said here, don't lose the kid in you. And this is very true, because as someone who looks up to a lot of the older people around me, and when you kind of see a lot of the life has been sucked out of them, or they're not very fun or energetic or interesting. It kind of just reminds me that we all have a kid inside of us. We all were children at one stage, and really hone into that inner child sometimes, and just be willing to chase things that are exciting. They might not be the most profitable, they might not be the most logical, but you know what? They excite you, they make you happy, and you know what? You have one shot at life, make the most of it. So yeah, if something's interesting to you, or you're somewhat curious, just make sure to give it a go. You really have nothing to lose. And yeah, if anyone has something negative to say about that, then you probably don't want them in your life anyway. So yeah, guys, hope you found some value in this video. It certainly helped me become a more interesting person, as I experiment with new things. I jump at new opportunities all the time, including creating YouTube videos. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know. But otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.